Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 1642, written by Immediatewhaffle. An entirely unstable day. I say it's a flicker because it was almost like I was flipping back and forth between parallel realities, or something like. So the whole day started off when my alarm went off at 4 a.m. I turn off the alarm, swing my legs over the side of the bed, and immediately snap my fingers, signaling my dogs to come with me to go outside. When I returned to our room, I was stunned to see my wife sleeping in our bed. The reason I was surprised is because my wife was working the graveyard shift at the hospital. I'm 1000% sure she was working that night because I distinctly remember staying up late to text her, and she was not in bed when I fell asleep. I think she heard me moving around and woke up. I asked her if she left work early for some reason. She just stares blankly and says, "Babe, I was home with you all night last night." Freaking weird, obviously, but I'm still half asleep and need to get to work, so I just shrug it off. Maybe I just misremembered. I was running late for work, so I'm zooming. Get to work and immediately jump out and hustle to the door, only to find the door locked. I proceed to try every single door, all locked. I finally start looking around and notice there's barely any cars. Call my boss to ask if we were closed for some reason. When he picks up, he says, "What are you talking about? You know we don't open until 5:30. I'm like, "Yeah, exactly, it's 5:30. Where is everybody?" He's like, "Look at your phone. It's 4:30. And when I look, he's correct. But I'm positive my alarm said 4 a.m. when I woke up. It uses geolocation to give you the right time zone, so I didn't change it. So what the hell? I don't have time to go all the way back home and all the way back, so I just recline in my car and wait. Once we finally open up, I bring my thermos of coffee to go inside, get my assignment from my supervisor. I drop my coffee crap at the workstation and realize I need to run back out to my car for headphones and chargers. I go grab my cables and headphones, specifically making sure I had both the black one and the white one, since I needed both. I started walking back towards the building. I don't get 10 feet from my car when I look down at the cords in my hand and realize I don't have the black one. I turn back to my car and walk the exact same path, checking the ground, figuring I dropped it. It is nowhere to be found. I start shining my flashlight under cars, searching the inside of my own vehicle, repeatedly. Nothing. I was really freaking bothered and annoyed by it. So I stubbornly started searching the entire lot in expanding circular pattern. Absolutely nothing. Rationally, it can only be in 3 places: inside my car, under or around my car, or in the 10 steps path I took before turning around. There's nobody even near me or my car that might have picked it up. No animals or anything to run off with. Never heard anything, no wind. And like I said, I literally only walked 10 steps from my car. There's no rational explanation. It literally vanished in the ether when I turned around. This happened a few months ago, and I still check the lot every morning to see if it re-emerges. Nothing doing so far. And lastly, after I finally went back inside, I got a call from my wife. That's weird because she was sleeping when I left. I pick up and ask if anything is wrong. She says no, but she's on her way home from work and wanted to call me to keep herself awake on the drive home. I'm like, "What the hell? I just saw you sleeping in our bed when I left." And she has no clue what I'm talking about. I legitimately thought I was losing my mind. Case file 1642. An entirely unstable day. A total confluence of glitches, and this to me indicates that the universe around you, like a little bubble around you, was unstable. And what can cause that? Well, what we know is, in quantum immortality, when you change universes, or even in a temporary transitional phase, when you reach the new universe, your soul was basically data. And if it's transferred incorrectly, maybe it has to be rushed for some reason, there could be errors that form, and they have to be corrected. And until they are, you're like a walking glitch in the matrix. You're producing glitches by yourself, by your own aura, you could say. A destabilization in your own code. And this might even account for most DOP events. Maybe they are triggered by us, by our unstable code. I don't know if it's in every case, probably not. But it is an interesting way to tether that together. So maybe the universe itself as a whole isn't unstable. It's us as we transfer between universes in the multiverse ocean. Now, I don't think it happens all the time. In fact, most of the time I expect those transfers to go off without a hitch and with no problem at all. Although if this is correct, then that means when I lost the tennis ball, it's because my soul was unstable and I had switched universes by quantum immortality, which I don't like to think about. I don't want to think that I died in one universe and everyone there is mourning me. But maybe. It's impossible to know or test as far as the only thing we can do is look for abnormalities in the new universe. Things that persist, namely. Not just a weird day. Case file number 1643, written by GERBILPANDA. An elevator from warp space. Back in junior year of high school, when I was 16, my family and I were moving to a new apartment. Near the end of the day, me, my dad, and a family friend, who I didn't really know then and haven't talked to since, were walking from the apartment to the elevator so we could go to the car and grab the last things from it. When my dad stepped into the elevator, the door closed almost immediately. It was specifically weird because the door had only been open for a couple seconds, and it closed way faster than I've ever seen an elevator door close before or after. The door won't open, so we're all confused. We're talking to Dad. He can hear us, we can hear him. Then suddenly, mid-sentence, his voice just cuts off entirely, and the door opens, and the elevator is just empty. So me and the family friend just sort of stare for a second. I step in and look around. No sign of Dad. I step back out of the elevator and immediately the doors close again, then reopen. And Dad's just standing in the middle of the elevator, looking dumbfounded. So we asked him what happened. He explains from his perspective that after the elevator door closed, at one point he stopped hearing us, and the elevator went up. Then it just stopped, and he heard what seemed to be wild animals he couldn't quite identify, and the sound of scratching on the door. This felt like it lasted around 5 minutes to him, before suddenly, the elevator door opened, without the elevator ever feeling like it went back down. We lived there for over a year. We never did figure out what happened, and the elevator never did that again. Hey, did you know I have a Patreon? If you'd like to support the channel, go over there and check it out. There's a free trial on the highest tier, and if you just want to toss me $1 a month, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Now on to the notes. Case note for file 1643. An elevator from warp space. This gives me the vibe of Warhammer 40,000, where they can travel faster than light by entering a pocket of space-time that is essentially hell. And in this pocket, if you don't have a Geller field surrounding you or your ship, then you'll be infested by the souls that are being tormented there, and you yourself will become one of the souls. And if you manage to get back to normal space, then even a ship can be possessed. It isn't just animate matter. Even inanimate matter can be possessed. We see this in the prequel. Well, unofficial, but I think it's true. The Event Horizon movie is a prequel to Warhammer 40k. Makes total sense to me. So is something similar going on? Maybe it isn't hell exactly, but tortured souls, maybe from purely being in this mortal coil or trapped here, are going mad essentially, and possessing an elevator of all things. There are so many glitches that surround elevators that maybe it could just be another anomaly, but it's hard to place because this isn't moving to a different universe. What kind of universe where you would rise up in the elevator, hear scratch marks on the outside, like animals trying to break in? Like in that universe, you're taking an elevator ride to a zoo, and then you don't feel the descent going back? No, this doesn't seem like a normal elevator glitch to me. It seems more malicious. And even the closing speed of the elevator didn't make sense. It seemed like some will was taking hold. Now time for the quote of the day. A kiss is a lovely trick, designed by nature to stop words when speech becomes unnecessary. Ingrid Bergman. There is magic in a kiss because it means so much. They say actions speak louder than words, and that's true. And what does a kiss imply? It means affection. It means being close to someone doesn't bother you. In fact, you prefer it. There's no greater way to express affection, in my view, than a simple kiss, even a kiss on the cheek. So if you have a loved one, make sure they got their kiss today. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.